for the gas stations, Mexico. So like the companies in the 90s. Yes, sir. Everybody wanted to invest in those. I'm not going to put my money in the company that don't make a profit. I'm going to tell you.
I remember there was a company that launched an IPO. It literally had no business plan whatsoever. Nothing. It just had a .com name, and it traded for $15, $20 a share.
All set.
It literally had no business. It just had a name.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. Leland Baptist, he's going to tell you about himself. Go ahead.
All right. And I'm gonna, be honest with you guys, I am a little bit nervous by like this much. So I'm going to be referring to my notes throughout the entire presentation, okay? All right. So by the end of this event, I want you guys to know basically the #1 tactic that we all should be using. So everyone in the finance industry should be using this #1 tactic to gain more clients or customers, okay? So the #1 thing is, how are we going to attract more clients without the need of relying solely on referrals, okay? Raise your hand if you rely on referrals. No one here relies on referrals?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just a few?
Oh.
Just a few? Okay. Raise your hand if at least 50% of your business comes from referrals. Like, that's like me right here, right? Okay. So, just out of a guess real quick, what could be a good thing about that? Just yell out. You can yell out.
Low cost.
Low cost, absolutely. What else?
Retention, or at least
Give or take, probably, in that relationship.
success ratio will be higher.
Possibly, yeah.
Instant trust and credibility.
Okay, awesome, because it's
Best
referral.
prospect.
Best prospect. Now, what's something that's not so good about that?
Inconsistent.
It's very inconsistent. So let's talk about that. All right, or is that just me? No one else has that?
That's true.
Universal.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so, but it seemed like you guys are like, no, not me. All right. So my goal is to do exactly that. Is to make sure that we all have an idea on the best way to get consistent clients. Referrals are fantastic. What about when we have maybe 5 referrals 1 month, and then the next 3 months we're still working on those 5 referrals, right? Those 5 clients. What about those troughs that we have? All right, so we stay to the end. At the very end, everyone in the room is not only going to get access to this recording, because it's going live on Facebook now, but you get access to the free recording, and then we'll have an actual workshop the following week as well. That's absolutely free too, okay? All right, so what's the difference? So first and foremost, my name is Leland Baptist. Believe it or not, I have a lot of weird degrees. One of them, or certifications, one of them is Six Sigma. I worked with International Paper, Dow Chemical, and a couple other companies too. I'm helping with a health insurance company now. We do some advertisements for them and also for sales. And then for my finance brokerage, we've done over $50 million in deals. Kind of small depending on who you talk to, but very, 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 very well done. All right. The majority of those were actually through referrals, and I'll kind of tell you guys a little bit more about that in the next few slides. The third thing is, when I realized that there are a lot of peaks and troughs when it comes to referrals, I was like, man, I have to get back to specifically marketing and using a lot of tools for marketing, okay? And so that's when I started diving more and more into marketing. So I got more clients for even like yoga clients, real estate clients, and so forth on marketing. Okay? All right, so, oops, wrong button. All right, so I've done a few things right, but I've done a lot of things wrong. I want to tell you guys what the things I've done wrong. So, over 3 years, the primary thing that I started off with in the finance sector was built on relationships, right? And when we all have clients that refer to us based on relationships, there are 2 things that makes a client want to do business with you, right? The first thing is the relationship from someone else. Someone said instant credibility, right? The second thing is urgency, right? And that the urgency piece is really what's missing a lot of times. Because the urgency piece is what makes someone pull out their credit card or actually write you a check. It's the urgency. It's not the relationship. As a matter of fact, the relationship kind of makes it go a lot longer than what it needs to be, right? So I don't know how you are, but I don't necessarily like that too much. And I rely primarily on referrals, like I said earlier, right? Talk about those peaks and troughs or valleys, up and down, right? Here we go again, here we go again. And so referrals are great, but they should never be our primary resource. So the hard way is this. You thrive solely on referrals. Who has ever gone to like networking events where you go there solely to pass out your business card, right? And people hate seeing you coming, right? That's kind of like working harder, right? Because think about it. Have you ever watched a lion hunt like a herd of buffalo? What is something that the lion does not do? The lion never attacks the whole crowd. When you're out handing out your business card, you're like literally attacking the whole the whole crowd. And unless you make an actual exchange with them, you have no way of really making a connection with them. And there's no way that myself, I'd be able to make a connection with every last person in the room. Likewise, if we had a marketing event or a networking event, there's no way you can make contact with everyone in the crowd. It's impossible. No way to do that. One thing I learned from a lion when he's looking at the buffalo or the wildebeest is he shows himself to the crowd first, and then those who scatter, right? Think about this. Those who scatter, does he go after the ones that are the fastest or the one that's like kind of limping? Right? He goes after the one that's limping. All right? You want the person who's limping. Remember I said earlier, urgency. You don't want to coddle the water buffalo. You want the person who like really needs your service because they're going to pay like today. You don't want someone who's going to drag their feet or think you guys are such good pals and friends that they'll pay you 3 months later. You don't want that person. And raise your hand if you've been there before. I've been there before. Okay. One time, I'm just telling you guys too. One time, probably because you have peaks and valleys, and so you want to do everything on your own. So there's really no automation in that. Okay. What if, when you did go to that marketing event, you hand out your business card, and I get Corcus, is that your name? Okay. If I get your business card, and I go home, and all I do is upload it to my CRM, what if my CRM then sends you an email and introducing myself, right? Yes. And then what if maybe 2 weeks later sends you something else that maybe a news article that I saw, maybe that I think is very interesting to your industry, right? Instead of me having to do that each and every time, that can be automated. Right? It's a lot of things that we can automate to save time. And you can still make the phone call to someone, but you have to pick and choose. You can't go after everyone in the herd. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. And the third thing that I learned was you can't be scared of marketing and at least being consistent with it. So we've all done marketing. So marketing is not a new thing. We all know that it works. The question is, why does it work for some people and not others? All right. The key to that is consistency. Consistency and urgency. All right. Now here's a super hard way. You depend solely on referrals. You literally bend over backwards to develop and build your client relationship. Who has done it before? Literally like bend over backwards. Okay. And then we're in the information age. And what that means is that we are, right now, a lot of us in the finance industries or the finance sector, we are competing with free information, right? As an accountant or a finance broker or a financial planner, how hard is it for your prospect to have a conversation with you at the networking event and then go home and type it in on Google? It's not too hard, right? And then go on YouTube and literally like watch that YouTube video 4 or 5 times, and then they feel as if they're like the expert. Yeah. Then when you call them, they say, oh yeah, yeah, the 401k, yeah. You know what? I was thinking about that because it's like no. We have it all mixed up, right? That happens too often, and so we're competing our paid service with the free information, right? And in all honesty, it's kind of like natural selection or nature. You can't fight it, okay? So the question is, if you can't fight it, what should you do? If you can't fight something, you what? Join it. There you go. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the easy way of doing this. All right, I'm going to show you guys proof of this, but in the last 30 days, it's actually less than 30 days, but put 30 days up there for you guys to believe me, but it was actually less than 30 days. I got over 11 clients. I gained 127 leads, okay? And basically what I did is I pick something that people have to have, right? So in other words, you give water to someone who's in the desert. You got me? I'm so serious because not everyone needs what you offer. You got me? Okay. You always are going to get people who are going to click on something, who are going to fill something out, who are going to ask questions, yada yada, who really are just wasting your time. Okay? They can't afford your time, so you shouldn't give them your time. I know it's kind of like mean a little bit, but it's the truth. You know, if they can't afford your time, they can't afford your time, right? So let's talk about that whole process. Now, everyone's results will be different. Okay, I want to show you guys an actual screenshot of what I was talking about, and it may be a little harder to see because of the light, but I want you guys to see this real quick. Yes, please. Just so you guys can kind of read what's going on. And I should see right here. Okay. What this says right here, this is page views. This is people who have viewed the content, and then these are leads, okay? What this means is that there were over 179 people, okay? But have you guys ever noticed the line is like really slow? Has anyone noticed that? And I thought about it, the line has really no good attributes. Like seriously. The line's not good at climbing. He's not good at running. The male lion, he's lazy. I mean, he's really not that good. He's patient, though. He's very patient. Yeah, he's strong, but, I mean, I've seen lions get jacked up by themselves, okay? So, but the lion's very, very patient. And what we have to be as well, we have to be patient. So out of the 127, that's where you want to focus. You don't care about everyone else. Let them shop and leave as much as they want to. You want to look at the 127. All right? Give me a few ideas of who that key client is for you. Who would that be for you? Does anyone know who their key client is?
Anticipating retirement.
Okay, awesome. So some of those demographics, of course, would be age and that maybe, are they still working?
Yes, anticipating retirement.
They're anticipating it? Okay. Now, is that by choice or just by circumstance?
By circumstance.
By circumstance. Gotcha. All right, so this person has to do it. Anyone else?
Small business owners with letters from the IRS or the Department of Revenue.
Okay, that person is thirsty, right? That person is walking to a desert. That's a very good one. Anyone else?
Business owner needing a bank loan.
Business owner needing a bank loan, okay.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, same thing? Now, check this out. We have to take it like one step further. Like one step further. Okay. If it's someone who is looking to retire, fantastic. And they're being forced to retire, fantastic. What is one other thing that will kind of separate them out? What's going to make them be away from that herd a little bit more? How do we know that person's limping?
Because he's concerned about having enough money to retire.
Okay, all right. But what's another characteristic we can look at, though?
How much money he got.
How much money he has or does not have. Now, what are the characteristics of someone who doesn't have money at that age?
What is his requirement?
It's urgent.
Huh? Urgency, yes, but what else?
Expenses.
Expenses, okay. How will that person live, though?
Anxiety.
Anxiety, okay. So we don't look at prescriptions. That may be a little illegal. But one thing we could think about would be, someone who has to retire. Real quick, pause, real quick. I think right now for the accountant profession, this is a great time for you guys. You know why?
Taxes.
Huh?
Tax season's right around the
No.
Depending on tax bill.
This
The tax bill. You have the tax bill. Oh my goodness! You have the tax bill. You have people scared. You have people afraid to get health insurance. They're afraid to get taxed. I'm serious. They're afraid to get taxed for health insurance.
Can we turn the lights back on?
Yeah, am I scaring you?
You disappearing.
My apologies. We have people.
Laughing and I'm sissy about that. I just wanted to see.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
All right. We have people right now in America who are thirsty. Very thirsty. They're afraid. They're afraid of the IRS shaking them. Okay, despite what the truth is. Okay, but in their mind, they think the IRS is going to penalize them. They think that their health care is going to fall through. They're not sure what's going to happen with the new tax bill. Business owners are not sure what's going to happen when it comes to the new tax bill. What if a few financial professionals were to put together, I don't know, let's say a 30-minute webinar answering those exact same questions that people are afraid of? Because you know they're searching for it, right? When they get done talking with you, they're going to search online and look for it. So you can't fight technology. You have to do what with it? You got to join it, be a part of it, embrace it. Okay. And so that's what's happening now. All right. So we know we want to focus on our key clients, right? And then we want to nurture and grow the prospect. When we have referrals, we try to nurture and grow the prospect ourselves, don't we? Like literally. Like I can't tell you the amount of dates I've been on with other prospects. Okay, because basically it's like a dating game. You know, you invite them to lunch or breakfast or whatever, over and over again. Okay, so this is our key client. This guy's thirsty. All right, I'm telling you, this is who we want, though. I'm so serious.
Tax season.
Tax season, that's who we want. We want the guy who's like, I haven't filed my taxes in 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's who you want right there. The question is, how do we make that information accessible to that person? Because he's looking. He's looking, literally. The other thing is automation. How are we going to automate this process to where it makes sense for us, but you can still spend time with the client that makes most sense to you, okay? Because not every client deserves to have your time. Oh my gosh, I remember I would be on the phone. It's against my belief now. I can't do that. I can't do that anymore, right? But I remember being on the phone with people, you know, hopping, you know, jumping on my cell phone when I see someone calling, and you can't do that. So there has to be a way to automate that whole process, and there is, and a lot of it's very, very free. The system is what's going to coddle that client. So those 127 people that did not make a decision, we can coddle them. Okay, we can send them messages. We can send them articles online. We can send them tax tips. We can send them different things, right? Because now, once you have captured their information, you have that information forever, unless they report you to the, the FCC, whatever. That's a whole other thing. But you have them forever, okay? So you can kind of rock them to sleep. Because this is what a lot of us end up doing with our referrals. I'm so serious. A lot of us end up doing this with our referrals. I mean, we are literally trying to do anything possible to kind of stand out. But the issue with that is that when there's an urgency, the referral still doesn't jump to you first. Have you noticed that? Or is that just me? The referral is still going to jump to Google first. Okay? They're going to jump to Google first, then they're going to ask you a few questions after they've been on Google. You got me? But if you have information that's readily available for that person beforehand, that's what's going to make you win. All right. As I stated earlier, if you try to go against nature, you're going to lose. We have to evolve when it comes to the finance sector. Right now in the finance sector, any other sector of marketing, a sector of business or industry, they use marketing to where they're doing this. I don't see a lot of accountants doing this. I honestly don't. And if just one of you makes a decision today to start doing this, you will literally blow your competition out of the water. No one's doing this at all. Seriously, no one's doing this. There are people who have no one's doing that at all. I don't even know how to put it. You can go on Google right now. You won't see it. All right, because the results matter. Now, H&R Block. I was thinking about this. As an accountant, the majority of your revenue is really based on your service, and once that service is complete, the deal is done. Right? It's kind of like with the finance brokerage. You may have 5 or 6 deals on a desk. Once those deals are done, that's it. There's not really a continuation plan for that, right? So the question is, how do you turn where you are right now into more of a continuation plan, all right? When someone wants to invest into a H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt, they're not necessarily investing because they like the practices that these companies have. They're investing because there's a consistency there, okay? There's a consistency for H&R Block. There's a consistency for Jackson Hewitt. What's the consistency going to be when it comes to your practice? Okay? What do you think that would look like for you?
It's going to be more stable clients.
Stable clients?
Cash flow.
Consistent cash flow?
Yeah.
What else?
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind?
Visibility.
Absolutely. Visibility? You said vacation? Oh, education. I'm sorry. But vacation too, right?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay. So one of the things I think about is, what if, and I think I know everyone in here can do it, okay? What if you put together a slideshow, maybe you and someone else in the room came together and you said, hey, what's the biggest issue that your clients are having today? All right, tax season is right around. They're talking about the new tax bill. That's a huge thing. What if you literally just put together a 30-minute presentation where, you know, they don't have to see your face. I mean, you can just record it on your computer. 30-minute presentation that kind of talks about what to watch out for the tax bill, what to watch out for saving for retirement, right? How does the current politics or the new bill, how's that going to affect them and their family, okay? So that's what's important to them. What if you did that and you just sent it out to everyone that you know of? What if the next time that I meet you, instead of me just taking your card, I actually gave you something of value? Because when we leave in our conversation, you're going to look it up anyway. So why don't I just go ahead and beat you to the punch and give you something to actually look at and review, instead of having to, you know, go the hard way around that. All right. This is what a business is going to look like trying to fight against the information age, because everything is free. When it comes to a business owner looking for a small loan, that individual has the ability to go ahead and go on Google, and it may be more beneficial because most business owners want to take things into their own hands, right? Most business owners want something very quick. They want a yes or no very quick. So instead of trying to fight against that current, what if I'm able to give that to that person? Okay, and that's what we're talking about. So, long story short, on the 14th, which is basically next week, okay? Next week, I'm going to literally show you guys step by step on how to do that, point blank, step by step how to do that. There's no catch, no gimmicks. It's free. I'm literally going to take time out of my night, and I'll be up all night, and I'm just going to show you guys how to do that exactly for the finance industry. All right. I would stay, but I don't think Mr. Jones would like that. But I would stay and show you guys exactly what to do, because it's not that difficult. You want to think about when someone if someone does have issues with the IRS, right? The very first thing they're going to do is they're going to search that on Google, right? That's the very first thing that they're going to do. They're not going to purchase. They don't want to purchase because they haven't been paying the IRS. So, I mean, you know what I mean? They're trying to buy anything. Seriously. I'm serious. They're trying to cut as many corners as possible, right? So what if you could tell them the top, I don't know, maybe the top 1 or 2 ways to cut those corners, okay? Or what if you could, and we can kind of talk about that later, but it's all about giving them the information first. Because if not, you're going to lose your prospects to the people who are advertising on those platforms. And then you're going to be wondering, man, why am I not getting a consistent flow of clients?
No, I was going to say, I do it, but I just only do it through text message. Like, literally just Google and Yelp and, you know, everything possible. I don't care if I spend money on marketing. I know they're coming in the door, but just making me think about should I do it all year round.
Is there any hurt in doing it all year round?
Yeah, the price.
The price should go down though after tax season, because those keywords aren't as researched as much.
Yeah, that's true, because it is by click.
It's by click. There you go. Now, for example, Mr. Jones owns, I want to say like Indianapolis. What is that? It is Indianapolis. No. It is Indianapolis Offer and Compromise. So when someone types Offer and Compromise, Mr. Jones, how many clicks did you have last week? The week I sent you the email from Google. 71 in 1 week. People heard him. Okay. The only difference is that when someone makes those clicks, you have to have a way to educate them, so you can at least get that. The primary thing that we're going to do is talk about how to set up a webinar. And there are a few things that I've noticed right now that people are not talking about when it comes to the finance industry. I'll tell you guys exactly what those are. You guys know I've been researching a lot, but basically what people are afraid of right now, this is what people are saying themselves. Okay, the healthcare industry and the impact on the small business owners, the healthcare impact or industry on their households. People are so actively looking for solutions. How will that affect their taxes come 2018, 2019? They're worried about the current tax laws and the tax bill. They are concerned, like owner-operators as far as trucks, they're concerned about how that's going to affect them. Practitioners are concerned about their income, what they do. And then the primary target should be attorneys, truckers, brokers, contractors, self-employed, and realtors. These are all people literally right now looking for those tax solutions. Those are the actual industries. They're constantly looking for those tax solutions right now. Okay?
What is it with the truckers? Is it the E-Mob, or what are they talking about the truckers?
For a lot of the truckers, they are either 1099 employees or like small business owners, and so they're having a lot of issues too. And if you think about it, that might be a really good client right there. You can probably have some kind of ability to help one person out, and if they do have their own business, you can help the rest of them out as well. So we'll talk about all those and the best way to attract those individuals on the next week. Are there any questions before we end the recording?
Well, where do we get that information from?
Say it again, sorry.
I said, where do we get that information from? You got a handout for us or what?
I have no handout for you. Just type the website in. So it'll be bit.ly, which is a tracking link, /ATX-2018.
I'll get it and send it out there.
Okay.
Now, for those of you who did take the time and actually complete the survey, at the very bottom of that survey that was sent out, there was a button to actually register for the workshop as well. Okay. All right. So if you did that as well, at the very bottom there was there's a link for that. Now that page is timed, so if someone does go back to that page, it's no longer there. Okay. So I'll leave that up for a little while longer.
What time next week?
It will be at 7 p.m. on Thursday, so 14th. Are there any additional questions? Really? No other questions?
You did a good job.
All right. Yes, sir.
What are some of the ways that what are some of the small businesses that you've worked with in implementing some of these strategies?
Has anyone heard of City Yoga?
Yeah.
Okay, I've helped them. So the gentleman's name who owns it is Dave Sims. I helped Dave Sims get over 200 leads for his business. Yeah, we're still recording. I believe so. Oh, okay. All right, so I'll edit it. It's live. I'll get it done. So yeah, sorry, Mr. Jones. So all right, I've helped yoga companies, real estate companies. So I won't say the actual names and everything. I've helped yoga companies, real estate companies. I've helped trucking institutions and companies, and also finance companies as well. Okay, and also accounting firms.
So when you say help, the basic is to give them more exposure.
More exposure or create a system. In all honesty, the exposure piece, you want that to a minimum. It's really about building a small community and allowing that small community to then go out and branch out and tell others about what you do and what you don't do. You don't necessarily want to broadcast something out to everyone. Does that make sense? You really only want to focus specifically on those who need it and then extract the funnel from there. So
I guess that gives you a chance to scale out incrementally.
Absolutely.
Rather than just explode.
And
not have resources to support that.
Yeah, I don't. And even if you did, why do it? You know, because this is a great example. Everyone can write this down. Wouldn't it be smarter if you had a website and you put your tracking pixels on your website, and then whenever someone came to Nicole's website looking for taxes, maybe it was before the tax deadline or after the tax deadline, however you want to do it. But wouldn't it be great that at that moment they go to YouTube and your video pops up, right? Because right now with YouTube, you can have someone watch your video for like 2 cents. It's not expensive. It's just making sure that you already have those things set in place. So someone goes to your website, and of course they're just looking. But then they leave and they go to YouTube. There you are again. There's your message again. Then they leave. They go to Twitter, for example. The message is there again as well. So that's what I would suggest. You want to bring as many people as you can to one location. But then when they leave that one location, they see you multiple times. Because right now in the information age, they're already doing this right now, right? So they have to see you more than once. Whereas a lot of people instead, they try to like blast, and it doesn't work.
And then you say this, having your name pop up at different places, is it automated or is it somebody managing that?
You automate that.
Okay.
And you also set a budget for that too. You can set a budget for that. Like for Facebook, you do like $5 a day.
Would you include podcasts in that, or do you avoid?
I would. So, but there's two ways to do that. For podcasts, you can do the actual ad on someone else's podcast, right? You can have your own. The only thing is that when you have your own podcast, you have to be consistent with having that message broadcast over and over again, right? So what some people do is they'll actually pay money to have space on someone's podcast, right? So what podcast I like is the real estate guys, right? So during one of their segments, they'll stop and say, hey, today's episode is sponsored by so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. Go to the blah, blah website and promo code Real Estate Guys 2018, right? And that's a good way of doing it too. The cool thing with that is your message or your advertisement will always be on that particular podcast. So if someone misses the podcast and comes back and review it, it's still there. It's kind of like a commercial on a recorded DVR episode that you like. Yeah. Do I suggest podcasts over other methods? No. But it is a good method to at least bring someone to one central location. We're good? No more questions? Not yet? Okay. All right, well, thank you guys so much. And Mr. West, thank you. Mr. Jones, thank you.
Okay, we're going to take we got a nice little break here. Kingsley will come up at,
oh yeah.
Actually, we could probably finish a little bit early. I'll call Kingsley and see if he can be on it at 2:50, and we can take a break up until that time. So if you need to put the pictures out now.
Nicole made a good comment. She said she sees me on LinkedIn a lot. I'm not on LinkedIn. It's all automated. I'm never on LinkedIn.
Every time I'm on there, you pop up.
Never on there.
Okay, that is the reason I asked, because
I don't have time for that. Think about that. That doesn't make any sense. So just as an example, we're doing a Facebook Live, right? On marketing. Not everyone's going to see this right now, and that's cool. It shouldn't be. That should be working anyway, right? So they're not going to see that right now. The way Facebook works and LinkedIn is that although this is happening live right now, someone's not going to see this until next week. That's what I'm saying. I'll catch it. Someone's not going to see it until next week, because the algorithm is made that it's only going to show you certain things based on when you're most active. So not everyone's most active, hopefully, during the middle of the day. Most people are going to be active around 7 o'clock, right? And Facebook's going to make sure that people see it more than once. Once I do that, I can then put this same asset on YouTube. And then after that, put the same asset on Twitter, and then so forth. And then it's following someone around. You got me? And at the very bottom of this live training going on, there could be something that says, if you want more information, click the button below. And all that can happen without me having to do it. It's all automated. Okay. All right.
Thank you. So we'll have a break until 2:50 if we can get this thing done. I think we got some